Dip Duck Dodge. Welcome to Chilltime with Jose. This is going to be, well, normally I do weekend, or not weekend, Friday, like net runners this time Friday, but last week obviously I couldn't do it because, well, I was somewhere special. I was kind of in Leipzig. Unfortunately, I couldn't stream from there either, so we have to combine it all today, including my Leipzig trip as well, which I went on. So there's a lot of CSGO that went on. Actually, was even involved, or actually not involved, but I was there for the Leipzig DreamHack Winter Qualifier. But let's not DreamHack Winter, DreamHack Leipzig 2020, the German tournament. So I was pretty happy with that. So first of all, we're going to actually change the topic. Thank you for the follow. I can't see it because I'm a ditz and I maximized something else that I shouldn't have maximized. But thank you for the follow. I believe it's Jet. Let me just change it to CSGO because I'm not talking about WoW anymore. Okay, let me just update this quickly. Because I cast Global CSGO Global Offensive. So let's go. Let's put it up. So I'm going to talk about the CSGO, okay? So basically I went to Leipzig until last Wednesday for a few days. And basically I'm going to say now that Renegades got so absolutely close to winning. Renegades being the Australian team. But they ended up losing the German team. So we're definitely going to go through that. But first of all, we're going to go through the pictures from the event. So I'm just getting them up now before we go on to thing. Yep, cool. I don't want that, but we want this instead. And here's the pictures, okay? Just showing off. I'm just trying to check my streams running. I've got 2 chats running just in case you guys are wondering. Because one time when I was casting, I was wondering why no one was talking in chat. And my chat OBS was connecting, but the chat on Twitch wasn't. So, I had no idea that people were actually talking in chat. But, here's a few photos, okay? So here we go. I like how the recent subscriber did not update the Pilsner, by the way, even though Pilsner just subbed. But, okay. So here we go. We got me at the event. You guys may have seen this photo from Instagram. This exact photo from Instagram. It was really fucking cold. Like, obscenely cold. And yeah, it was like 1 degree, 2 degrees that day. And as soon as I got into the venue, there's like heaters there. And I'm like, I just like shed all my jumpers and stuff like that. I'm like, finally, I can not wear like all this bulky gear. Because I don't wear anything bulky in Australia because it's still pretty warm. Like, it's like the lowest it goes like 10 degrees. But yeah, I finally got there. A lot of people spoke obviously a lot of people spoke German, of course, and not many people spoke English. So it was like, kind of like me doing sign language to tell them what I wanted and stuff like that, like with the taxi drivers and stuff like that. But fortunately, to the venue, I could easily walk there. So as you see there, Esports One, Monster, DreamHack sponsors everywhere here. So that's myself in front of it. So next up is the Farming Simulator League. So the first thing I cropped up on my right was Farming Simulator. That was actually a big event at DreamHack. There was like multiple games there. I think it was League, Farming Simulator, and a few other things as well that were available to everyone. Basically, the CSGO and the Dota 2 tournaments, you had to pay extra to go in, which I already had. So as you see here, like I give you the bands, by the way, guys. Like, this is to get into the LAN area, because I cut off my wrist because I had to. So this is to get into the LAN area. This was to get into the DreamHack Open. And this was to get into the to the Dota tournament. So, we had 3 different bands. I'm actually kind of surprised it wasn't like DreamHack Winter where they had the chip. Like, I'll give you guys an example. This is the DreamHack Winter chip. So you had this, where you could just like scan in and that's it. But it wasn't like that, unfortunately. So, first off, most people could see the Farming Simulator League. If you guys don't know what Farming Simulator is, it's basically, you basically simulate, yourself making a farm. But the esports relation to Farming Simulator is that they stack bales of hay up to, I think it's like 5 high. So it's like a pyramid of 5 below, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And you can sabotage the other team doing it as well, but you cannot touch the hay bales that they're stacking. You can sabotage them as, taking their hay bale and I think crashing them as well. I'm not terribly sure, but that's the challenge, is to get 5 hay bales in a pyramid. Not 5 hay bales, but you're going to get 5 stack hay bale pyramid. So next up we've got is my pretzel. You guys may have seen this as well. Basically, it was after the first game between Virtus Pro and I think it wasn't Cloud9 actually. It was Big, and I got a pretzel. Dude, that pretzel was fucking good. That pretzel was really fucking good. And no one was there, by the way. Like, for the first day of games, no one was there. So like I had like 3 seats to myself where I could like put my bag down, put my pretzel down and stuff like that. And obviously, of course, Pepsi down there, if you guys can see it. But yeah, it was pretty good atmosphere at the start. Like, not many people were there. I got to talk to a few people as well. And I met one of my people who view my casting as well there as well. I think I met her that day, which was pretty good. Because they are Heroic were playing. Like, all the Danish teams were playing, and she's Danish. So it was Heroic, North, and Bad Lions. So I think next one up is I was wondering with all the hats. There's like a whole bunch of people wearing hats. Like one of I think MSL from North was wearing a New York Yankees hat. And I'm actually curious is this will become the new thing in CSGO where players wear hats like Nike or Adidas or whatever and then play like this. So basically you see the guy that is playing, face down like this, showing off his hat like that. I wonder if that will become a big thing in CSGO where like they put like, Adidas, Nike or like, Monster or whatever they're sponsored by to get it, out there, onto the thing. Or whether TOs will start going, hey, we'll start catching a little bit, hey, you can't wear a hat to the tournament so that people, don't promote the wrong products. I wonder if they do that as well, like Monster would have checked and make sure no beverages were promoted either. But I was wondering if they do that. This is Oscar from Sprout. So there's the Renegade setting up. I believe that's Sicko here. And I believe it's hats. That's hats, and I believe, no, that's not Sicko. That'd be hats. I'm trying to figure who this would be, because Malta was on the left, far left. But I don't think that would be Sicko. And it's not Dexter. I'm trying to figure out the fifth for, it can't be, because I know that's hats for sure, because hats was on the right edge. It might be Sicko, actually, but I don't think it is. I think it's Ints. Yeah, that's Ints. So that's from the Renegades. It's from the Australian team, just in case you guys are wondering. And then there's Dexter. Yeah, that is Ints. So there's Dexter there. So I took photos of all of them as well, and I took the photos of that. Of course, who's going to secure Renegades. And there's one of the admins as well. So yeah, there's the admins. I was getting like pictures of the Renegade sign. It looks fucking lit. I thought this guy was their coach, and I realized that Renegades don't have a coach. And it was actually kind of surprising to a lot of the fans there that I'm like, oh yeah, Renegades don't have a coach. But they go, oh, that's their coach. I'm like, no, it isn't. That's not their coach. That's the admin. And they're actually kind of surprised that the Australian team didn't have a coach. Next up is during the Cloud9 game. So this is when Renegades were up, they were up 12-3. And Cloud9 just called a timeout. I think it was a 10-3 or something like that. Cloud9 just called a timeout. And look at that. So easy for Renegades. Easy peasy. So afterwards, I went out to the convention because it was like 30 minutes between games. So there's the Game of Thrones case that I was looking at. That looks freaking lit as fuck. Like, look at that. Game of Thrones. Lava at the bottom. Targaryen. Targaryen fan here. Looks fucking lit. Then there's a farming simulator. You can actually play Farming Simulator. There's actual tractors at the arena. Like, after you went outside, you can actually go in the tractor and stuff like that. So it's pretty, I feel it's pretty sick that, So I'm just burping at the moment, but they gave, awesome tractor rides. Like, if you wanted to go on a tractor, you could during the day. But I just never had the time because I was watching CSGO non-stop. And it's on the PS4, obviously, as you guys can see here. It's on the PS4. Here's an actual tractor, as I said before. Like, you could, outside, you could drive one of these around, which is pretty awesome. What do you guys think about it so far, like, as Farming Simulator as a game? I reckon this is a pretty neat, touch. I'm going to give the credit to the DreamHack organizers for the fact that they had, a tractor there. Like, that's pretty good for a game. Of course, for CSGO, you can't have, like, an AK-47 or an M4 there, of course. You can't have that. But, I think it's really good for Farming Simulator to have, the pictures here. Next up, we got the Smash Brothers. Like, there was a Smash area. So, Smash, basically Super Smash Brothers. Not a smashing area, but a smashing Smash Brothers here. So, there's Koopa, Toad. I think Yoshi's a bit closer. This was the, big games area. What is Johnny saying? Cool. Indeed it is. There's as you see here, the Smash Bros. Ultimate. There's Yoshi. Trying to get to bring back Sane. I have no idea who that is. Bring back Satan. Oh. I just realized what that said. But there's Yoshi. There's Jigglypuff here. You can see, like, one of the TV screens nearby that Jigglypuff just won a game. So here's one of the chairs from Maxonomic. So Maxonomic's made by one of those companies that I think it's made by the same companies that make really comfy chairs. And I think Annie and a few other streamers are sponsored by Maxonomic. I'm trying to think which streamers are sponsored by Maxonomic, but yeah, there we go. I did sit in some of these chairs. This one was the best one by far, by the way. That's why I took a photo of it. Okay, best one by far. His account got Thanos by Twitter. Dude, Twitter just randomly bans people. Okay, like I don't really care about Twitter anymore because they just randomly ban people off the bat, and it's just like, shit. Like, it's just utter shit. And that kind of blows. Gaming chairs, exactly. That's what a few streamers have said, that gaming chairs are actually really shit for your back. I think it was Fragments and Riley that said that gaming chairs are absolute dog shit for your back. Like, that's what he said. Like, he preferred the comfy chairs, other than the gaming chairs. Like, Riley brought the Secret Labs chair, as you hear, I've got a Secret Labs chair too, purely because it's more comfy than the fucking DX Racers. Like, this chair's done nothing to my back whatsoever. The only thing that's happened to my back is I got a massive knot in my back, about like that big, I gotta say, like around about that big. And that was from sleeping, like, really awkwardly on my phone. Next up, we got, I'm not sure, I think this is from League, but, I thought that was a pretty lit poster. Life's good, by the way. LG, life's good. I've been saying that for years, dude. There's been a lot of people who've been saying that shit, and some people just don't learn. Here's the Rage Cage. For some reason, you got put in this cage. I have no idea, like, whether you got loot or not. Like, I have no idea how this game even went. All I heard was just Rage Cage, Rage Cage. Every time I entered it, I had no idea how it worked. I'm just sitting there going, like, all you can do for a Rage Cage is play Sekiro or Dark Souls for, 10 to 15 minutes, and there'll be definitely some rage, some broken headsets, and some broken mice. Or play Getting Over It as well. That's the real Rage Cage. So here's a player at PUBG, PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And there's like the PC, there's the winner chicken dinner. There we go. Real warriors don't break, they bend. And then there's some indie games. I don't know what this game's about. I looked at it and be like, is this a horror game? It's like interrogation, you will be deceived. Like, isn't the idea of interrogation to, like, not be deceived? But, okay. And the chick looks scary. This is Renegade, I think this is Renegade's beating Cloud9 again, by the way, for the second time. I believe. No, this is Heroic winning their best of 3. And there's a closer angle of the trophy. So see there, like champions Leipzig, Inferno in the background. And there's me with the trophy. Future trophy, by the way. I think this is just after Heroic won their best of 3 indie elimination. Hi man, did you enjoy Leipzig? Yeah, I did. Definitely enjoyed it a lot. The only thing is, as per usual, of all these European countries, it's fucking cold. That's the only thing that was the issue. But it was really, really good. I was the only Renegades supporter at the event, which was interesting at times, okay? I think there's another guy who was the only supporter of Cloud9 at the event, and I had to say to him, like, GG, man. No, Australia's hot as fuck. Hey. But yeah, there's me with the dream hacking. Because after Heroic won their best of 3 against Sprout, Heroic won like 2-0, which was completely fucking expected. Like, Sprout, like, this is the bad thing about Sprout. Sprout weren't exactly a bad team at the tournament. They were just dropped into 3 Danish teams that were just much better than them, pretty much. So here's, once again, there's the Renegades. They were 12-3 up in Inferno on Cloud9's map pick. And, yeah. As I said, like, the desk was like, oh, Cloud9 picked Inferno, they should win that map. And I'm sitting there being like, you do... Like, I'm like, you do realize, so I go to DM, I'm like, you do realize that all the Asian region plays Inferno, including Renegades. And I'm sitting there scratching my head going like, dude, that's like, dude, like, analyst desk, like, you do realize that Oceania all play Inferno. Like, you gotta be careful with these trap map picks. That's what I talk about in the map picks a lot. That you gotta be careful with these map picks, because they could be trap picks. And I was just shocked that Cloud9 picked Inferno. I was like going, okay, Cloud9 won't pick Inferno, because if they pick Inferno, they're going right into Renegade's territory. Renegades will technically have 2 map picks, picking Dust 2 and then picking Inferno. And I'm just sitting there going like, why would you pick Inferno? And of course, Cloud9 lost 2-0. It's like, for example, like, picking Nuke against a Danish team. That's what the criticism I've got of Cloud9 there. It's like picking Nuke against a Danish team. Like, you're pretty much putting a big gamble on it. And I feel Cloud9 could have gone to Overpass or another map other than Inferno and would have got one on the board, but they didn't. And much to my happiness, they didn't. And Renegades kicked some ass. But that's a few criticisms I had there. Is that, Cloud9's map picking was really bad. What's your opinion on the new CS update? The bench at Mirage, I would say probably wasn't needed. And God help anyone trying to hold B site. That's all I'm going to say. God help anyone trying to hold B site on CT side. Because there's going to be a lot of flashes, smokes, mollies. The Mirage bench is interesting. And since you can use it to jump peek short as well, it's pretty concerning. But you can still get a one tap at short. The short player just has to be very, very aware that a player from unders can jump peek short and see if they can one tap a headshot. But I think what they're trying to do with Mirage, I can give my honest opinion, they're trying to deny the fact that if CT got to window first before the T's, they could hold middle with just a single warper. And that's what they're trying to get rid of. But yeah, well, there was no Mirage here. So there's, I think it's Seiko, Malta, Dexter, Ints, and Hats. I think it's after an easy win. And Cloud9 won the Eco. So this is after they won, of course, on Inferno. So Cloud9. Apparently Sonic here was really, really sick. Like, he was really, really sick during the event. And Floppy quoted the jet lag excuse as well. And, well, I'll tell you now, Renegades traveled from Australia and they boot camped in Europe to get rid of the jet lag. That's what Dexter said in the interview afterwards. So here's my hotel. So my hotel was pretty chill. There's the arena. So that's where the DreamHack Leipzig was. This entire lake is frozen, just in case you guys are wondering. Frozen over. And if you guys can spot something here, there's a trolley right here. Like, we're going to zoom in, okay? There's literally a trolley right here. There's a trolley that's half frozen. Like, see here? There's a trolley that's half frozen here. And basically someone, like, dumped the trolley into the lake and then it froze over, so... yeah. I just thought it was hilarious that there's this random trolley just sitting there. So as you can see, you can confirm it indeed is a trolley. Shopping trolley. Okay, let's get back out. So here we go. It's Mad Lions vs Renegades. This is on Nuke, when Mad Lions were about to win the map. And then this was after, you know, Renegades... If it was 1-1, Renegades going to train on Nuke. And then there's Rosie. Okay, that's after the Renegades game. Renegades 1-2-1. That's the stream I was there for as well. So that's Rosie. This is actually a really good picture of her, okay? We were doing this as a joke picture, like to make it look like Shrek because it's green light. But it actually turned out really, really good. I'm actually kind of shocked about it. I'm like, oh shit, like, you know. Yeah, it actually turned out really, really good. I think I've got another one, but it's blurry. Rosie, ew, Kappa. We had a joke after this. That Rosie was like, get out of my swamp. But yeah, she looks really good here. I'm not sure I got the second photo. Now this is when Renegades beat Mad Lions. Can I stab? No, you cannot. This is when Renegades beat Mad Lions. As you see here, you know, Renegades smiling, Dexter styling. Mad Lions unhappy and sad. Me, I was sitting with Rosie in the crowd, by the way. Rosie was to my left when I took this photo. We're at the horizontal pictures. I don't take horizontal pictures, okay? So she was sitting to the left of me, just in case you guys are wondering. But yeah. Next up is, yeah, Rosie's new jacket. We took a picture of that before she went off. And this is the meme photo, because that's a photographer. And we're taking a photo within a photo, okay? We're memeing it hard. And there's my room waking up next day. I woke up at like 6 a.m, so I'm like, might as well just snap my room. It was a very small room, like nothing too big. There's my like formal clothes, just in case we went out to anywhere special, like all ready to. I think it's slightly ironed, but all ready to go just in case. But we never went out anywhere in the end. We went to like a lot of places where I could just wear casual wear, which are like cafes and stuff like that. So this is my last day in Leipzig, basically. So it's basically all tourism stuff. So we had a pretty beautiful day for it. Like this is from the taxi that I took into the city. So look at that. Like, look how clean and crisp the city looks when it's shining. So here we go. So there's the Mezzi down here. Just in case you guys, there's the arena. And then there's like the trees, stuff like that. I thought this was a really good picture. I'm actually surprised these pictures came out so well, considering I was taking them from a moving car. Basically, the chick that was driving me places, the taxi driver, she was like listening to Iron Maiden, man. It was fucking rocking. I was like taking these photos while rocking out to Iron Maiden. I think Super Drive was playing. And dude, man, I was rocking out hard because she had like the Iron Maiden track, like, you know, silently in the background. Was pretty good. So yeah, this is Leipzig basically. There's a few things I want to take a picture of. Like, it's a pretty like cute little town. There's a big hotel here. And there's a construction site here. So welcome to Leipzig, just in case you guys are wondering. And there's all the sales that are on in the city. Like, they have a big notice board of where the sales are in the city. As you see here, I've zoomed in further to, you know, give you guys an idea of how much sales there are. There's the main train station. There's like the light rail here, and there's the train station. I try to avoid this area because like there's a whole bunch of people, and I know how bad pickpockets are in Europe. So I try to avoid here because I didn't want to get like my passport or anything pickpocketed. So I just like avoided like lots of people and stuff like that because I know there's a lot of kids who like hide out in train stations and steal money and stuff like that. So there's the Meze Hotel, which is ironic, which is so far away from the Leipzig Meze, it's not even funny. There's the Steinberger Hotel. That's actually a really posh hotel. I enjoyed it quite a bit. How do you get pickpocketed? Oh, it's just kids just randomly rifle through people's pockets. It's crazy. If you're not stupid, though. Yeah, exactly. You know, that's what I meant. Like, that's why I didn't go to crowds of people because it's pretty much a prime pickpocket location. But you know, here we go. So here's the Steinberger Hotel. Looks pretty sick. So basically, there was this big square, and I wanted to get into the city to tour the city. And I'm like, what do I know that's in the city? I'll just, you know, taxi it there. So I taxied to the Steinberger Hotel because I'd been there before. Before, like, you know, we went there for, I think, dinner one night. So, you know, here we go. So here's the city square. So that's this giant city square in the middle of Leipzig. And there's Burger King, which I ate at that day. But yeah, there's this giant town square. Like, look at it, man. Like, all the trucks here. Like, look how huge it is, okay? They just... Pardon? That this giant town square. And I like sitting there like, why would they need this huge town square? And what for? So yeah, that's what I took pictures of. Like, how big the town square is. So we went to the... I went to the shops here as well. And this is a chocolate cafe. So there's like a giant, you know, chocolate reindeer set as well. Dark chocolate carriage with some white chocolate in it. And some milk chocolate as well. And then I think this is the other end of the Steinberger Hotel. So it's got that. It's got a copper roofing. We can't see because vertical pics. Sorry. Fuck off, Johnny. So here's a pathway to the cathedral. And you know, here's like the benches. The benches are really cold. That's why I didn't want to sit on any of the benches. And there's the bank. A bank is here, by the way. And I was taking a picture of like the golden outlinings and all the fucking banks. Yeah, who takes a vertical pic? Fuck you guys. Here's the cathedral. No, this is not the bank in 5 seconds. This is the cathedral. So we went in here to the cathedral a bit later on. So there's a star. Look at these vertical pictures. How beautiful. So here's some flowers. Went to the florist. There's some roses. And there's some more roses. And I'm not sure why I took a picture of this. This must be the biggest accidental picture of all time. But okay. So these are like the random buildings I encountered in Leipzig. And then there's the sun actually rising. You're surprised by the gold on the banks? Yeah, kind of. I'm like, why would they have gold there? Probably isn't gold. There's a golden elephant as well. It's from the Indian restaurant. So I just took pictures of those. And there's a selfie of me in it. You can see the shadow of me holding the phone, by the way. The shadow phone. Easy. And there's a better selfie, okay? Of no shadow phone, okay? So these are like gardens, but they've been heavily graffitied. One of the taxi drivers commented about it. That a lot of the landmarks in Leipzig are heavily graffitied. So like you can see 1 graffiti, 2 graffiti, 3, 4, 5. The statue's probably gone now, I bet. Crazy. The statue's probably gone. Constipated face. No, it's my smile face. It's just this fucking cold. So here's the train station on foot. There's a war memorial, I think, here. I'm not terribly sure what this is, but I just took a photo of it. I can't read German. And yeah, there's a little park right next to the public transport area. It took me like an hour or two to walk around this area. Like, not this area here, but walk around the areas I went to. So here's like a Greek pillar with some plants coming out of it. And this is where I entered the cathedral, by the way, guys. Look at that beautiful picture, man. These vertical pics are just so good, man. Like, look at it. Who's the photographer of these beautiful pictures? Me. Check this out. Well, not yet. It's crazy. Not yet. We're almost close to finishing. Look at the ceiling. Look at the pews, man. Look at the candles, the chandelier. That's not hung up, which is odd. There's the altars. There's the flowers and the altar as well. There's the urn. There's some like murals. Almost close to finishing. Dude, I'm really close to finishing. This is my last day at Leipzig, okay? There's the main altar with the Bible on it. What's almost close to me? Dude, I'm almost towards the end. There's all the paintings from the cathedral. Jesus. Finally a non-vertical crazy. Wow. Jesus being begged for money. Then there's Jesus on the cross. Then there's the upstairs, the organ. There's organs here as well. And there's construction. There's a lot of these construction areas in, in fucking Leipzig. There's like at least 4 construction areas, okay? I think next up they're going to be from Rosie's photos. I'm very sure from Rosie's photos because Rosie gave me some of her photos as well. So they should be coming up shortly. There's the Ferris wheel. Like, dude, I got like on the second night, I was trying to find where Rosie, Alan, and Michael were for the dinner. And dude, I fucking went in circles around this fucking Ferris wheel until my GPS is like, oh yeah, they're over here. And I'm just like, really? There's the University of Leipzig. There's some like random statues. I have no idea what it says. Probably says something really, really bad, but okay. There's another statue here. And, who made the statue basically. There's San Remo, an Italian company who apparently have pasta stands in Germany. There's a statue, and I believe that's not bark, but okay. There's Woolworth. There's a shop here called Woolworths, and this is where Woolworth is. Where one Woolworth is. It's a shop in Germany. And there's a Yakuza store, okay? The biggest Yakuza store in Germany, okay? Look at these Yakuza gear, okay? Where's the Kiryu suit, okay? Where's the Kiryu suit? Ew, you portrait picture taker. Dude, why does everyone hate portrait pictures? Like, come on. Look at the Yakuza store, okay? So there we go. There's some of the bling from the Yakuza store. And there's, like, the Sky Bridge. And this is kind of interesting. This is how they label disabled parking. So you got disabled parking here with these stones. Like, you can walk over it. And there's, like, no outlines. Just, random metal objects. And there's the last picture that I took before I went to bed, before I left the next morning, was that I was playing this game like all last night. All the last night Leipzig was playing Yoshi's Island or whatever it is. Was playing Super Mario World. So next up, I think this picture's from Rosie. Yeah, there we go. So this is from Rosie. This is me and Rosie. This is before the Big V Renegades game, that big fucking 1-2-0. And I think that's it actually. Yeah, that is it. That is it from all the photos here. But yeah, basically, Oof, Jose get it? Nah. But yeah, like Rosie and I spent a bit of time together as well because Alan had to do some things and Michael got very hungover on Saturday. So me and Rosie was chilling watching the CSGO and just doing whatever. But anyway, that's pretty much it for my Leipzig trip. We'll talk about some stories about it as well. Dude, I got a massive headache on the second night. Like, I'm not sure why, but I got a massive headache and I couldn't go out for dinner. Like, basically, we got it for dinner, and then, like, 5 seconds later, I was, really sick. Back in 26-17. Huh? What do you mean by that? I have no idea. Oh, you're talking about the timer. Yeah, timer, got it. Yeah, because they had the Veckers there who did Easy for Ants, okay? They had the Veckers there of Easy for Ants, like the Easy for Ants, Ants. That sort of thing, okay? So, that's why we're chilling there. I'll show you guys again. I actually turn off display capture now since, we gotta switch it back to the scene. But there we go. 30 fucking minute break. Yeah, they had the Veckers play Easy for Ants. And, I took a photo of it. And I said, I took a photo of it and I said to one of the casters in ESL that, I don't hear the song very often because, Australians generally beat Ants. And he's like, stop fucking rubbing it in. He got really angry at me for rubbing it in constantly. 2 seconds, guys. I'm trying to get the other thing ready to go, which is a crazy picture. So we're gonna take a look at Crazy's picture here. Man, what is? It's not even vertical. How can I watch that? Like, it's not vertical. Okay, like I can't view it. It's too vertical. Too vertical for me. Okay. The third night we went to a German Italian place, which was actually really, really good. Like, Rosie had a steak finally, because Rosie was, like, wanting a beautiful steak. Okay, I'm gonna watch this again. Just for you, just a vertical picture. Oh, good vertical picture. Really, really good. That's exactly what I wanted. But yeah, like, we went to a German and Italian place. Rosie got a steak with Michael, and I think Alan got a steak as well. It's the only one that got pasta. And that's pure gold. Damn, why don't I just melt it down and sell it? And before Georgia already did that, like they melted it down and sold it. But yeah. So that's what we did the third night. The first night was just me, because I don't think Alan and Michael were there yet, because they arrived 10 p.m. on Friday. And then, yeah, pretty much Saturday and Sunday, Rosie, Alan, and Michael and I just hung out, really, pretty much the entire day. And I think Rosie interviewed some cosplayers as well. You'll see that on the vlog. You actually see me in the vlog as well. I think it'll be part 2 of the vlog for Rosie. I'll be on it, because I get interviewed, like, partially. Christ, I notice how old that picture is. Yeah, you can notice how old things are when, like, buildings around it have been renovated. Right, that's another thing you can find out as well. But yeah, basically, you know, Rosie and I, Alan and Michael, I think I was there helping Rosie interview a cosplayer because Alan had to go, like, halfway through. I noticed it because of the cars. Okay. But yeah, those cars are kind of old, actually, looking at it. I've had some software gore on Twitch. That's interesting. Don't even know what software gore is, but okay. Hey. But yeah. So that's pretty much my trip to Leipzig. So let's just, get onto it. Which I believe, I'm trying to figure out. We should get onto it. Basically, if you guys don't know, the MDL's starting next week for EU and NA. And I'll be casting one of the first games for EU, which will be at 1400 CET, and I'll be casting that, just in case you guys are wondering. But let's get into the MDL for Australia. Yeah, MDL for EU hadn't started yet because they hadn't announced what they were going to do with relegation. You're partnered with ESL, right? No, not yet. No, I don't have a contract with ESL. I have a partnership with ESEA, but not with ESL. Do you play AI Dungeon? No, I have not. I have not played that. But let's go talk about week 2's matches. So basically, we Order, Dispose of Fury, and Paradox. This is why I think Order are going to win. I meant ESEA, you mean. Okay, got it. Esper, like, they could be XL team, basically. I think it was around here is when I left. Yeah, it was after this game. MLWV Formidable. Major qualifiers start today. Yeah, I didn't get that. I got into the NA qualifiers. So I only got NA minors. So EU minors, I don't do that. Like I don't have permission to stream EU. I only got CIS and NA. So you can probably watch me for CIS qualifiers. I did request for certain I gotta be careful as well because I got broadcasting rights obviously. And I don't know what to tell you, but I'm trying to see if I can stream certain teams. That's what I'm gonna say. There's certain teams I really want to cast because I do enjoy them. Like I do enjoy casting them, and I'll try to cast them. That's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. Okay. So one of them was for CIS. Namiga's in there, but I'm very sure I won't get Namiga considering Namiga is the only team in CIS that's in the opens. So you'll try to stream my game if you're playing CIS, maybe. Nice shirts, no worries. So we'll talk about Airborne vs Fury. That was a really close game that went back and forth. And Rock Candy actually won their first game after giving, so much. Yeah, we'll be playing CS. I'll see what I can do. I'll ask the guys, and depending on how many open qualities you guys do, I'll try to cast, all of them. See how far you guys get. Rock Candy vs Formidable. That was actually, I can't believe Rock Candy won that. If I can't cast the Amiga, I'll see if I can cast your games crazy. But yeah, no promises though. Like, I'm not sure what's going to happen to VSL. I've got to talk to them. I can't tell you if I've talked to them or not, basically. But this is just my intention, really. So Rock Candy vs Formidable. Of course, Bazaar beat Rock Candy. And then Trident beat Team. This was the biggest upset here on Mirage, that Trident beat Team in here. So week 3 I came back for. So basically, it's up to these games here that I was back for. So basically, Order took out Airborne pretty, good as well. Like, Airborne did well on CT side. They trailed again on T side. Airborne has such a big issue on their CT side now. So Order also beat Incept as well. This is why I think Order are probably going to win the competition with how convincing they are. MC beat Formidable as well. It's good to see that Formidable got pretty close here. Because Formidable have been having a devil of a time. Actually, never mind. They got beaten 16-1 on Train. And they lost 14 straight T-side. Oof. Yeah, you can't, You're not winning Train if you can't win CT side. So, this is X-Bizarre, by the way, SKF. They beat MC. Rock Candy won another game against Team Esper, which I'm, surprised about. Rock Candy won 2 in a row, by the way. And MC beat Paradox. Don't worry about that game. I think Rock Candy forfeited. This is the most strangest forfeit I've seen. So, what happened was that After the second half, Rock Candy were up 8-7, and then they didn't rejoin the server. 4 of them left, and they didn't rejoin the server. Like, it was so strange, and everyone was like, what the hell's going on? Like, even the casters were a bit, like, puzzled about what's going on. Like, are these guys going to rejoin and finish the game? So then, basically, PC419 upset Mad Like Wizards 16-12. That's a big upset, by the way. Given that Mad Like Wizards will win some seriously good form. Airborne beat Intercept, and then we didn't cast this one. Genuine and MC was very, very close. They should get kicked or banned for a season at least. Maybe there's a reason for that. Like, I'm not sure about the reason, but they didn't tell the casters. It was kind of a weird kind of thing. Like, I don't think anyone knows yet, but I think ESEA does know what happened with Rock Candy. Because Rock Candy never usually do that. So then we got Esper vs Airborne. This was a really, really close game, and Airborne almost threw that away. And then MC beat Airborne. Airborne were up 11-4 on their T side, and then they choked on CT side massively, which was not good to see. Next week will be Fury v XGen, or a team. I'll be casting that match definitely. And Order v Trident, which I'll also be casting as well, just in case you guys are wondering. I'll be casting these 2 games. So next one up is Dreamhack Leipzig, okay? So we had all the casters here. So we had Vince, Pimp, Londa, Scrawny, Potter, Maniac, and Freya. So these 3 here, they really, really, like, none of them ever betted Renegade. Not betted Renegades. None of them ever picked Renegades. And one day I'm gonna ask these guys on why they never rated Renegades at Leipzig. But, I think Pimp and Vince were actually pretty good casters. So, yeah. I don't get why people shit on Pimp at casting. I think Pimp only made one mistake throughout the entire casting, which is when he color casted, he went on longer than the 30 seconds that you normally should color cast for. And that was kind of a bit of an issue there with Pimp, that he talked about analysis for about 50 seconds or so, and that's it. With color casting, you just say your piece, what changed around, what to look out for, and that's it, you duck out. But Pimp went on for a bit too long. But Pimp's a decent caster. I don't get the people who are saying that he's a poor caster by any extent. He's actually a very, very good caster. Like, if I'm going to say that the casting duo that was the best there, I'd say it would be Pimp and Vince. Pimp and Vince were probably a really good caster I enjoyed listening to. G'day, Daniel. Hope you're having a great day at the moment. 2 seconds. I've got to turn down the lights slightly because my lights, I can see, they're on my face and they're beaming. So I've got to turn them down. And then my webcam will adjust. 2 seconds. I'm going to check my DMs because I think my brother DM'd me again. Okay, we're all good. Nothing can beat Semler and Anders duo. Dude, you know the CSGO, talking about CSGO tier 1 casting stocks, like, anyone trying to get a career, like, in tier 1 CSGO now, it's going to be really hard, given that Semler and Monte Cristo are back, casting CSGO. Like, that's going to be very, very hard to get any of these tier 1 casting gigs when you get 2 Overwatch casters coming straight to CSGO. Because they're not going to pick up any new blood when you get, like, Monte Cristo and Semler. And now Foreign's, like, advertising DOA to come to CSGO as well. Like, if CSGO get all the good casters, it's just like, well, what's the hope for anyone who's in tier 2 or tier 3 CS to even get a shot at tier 1? Like, Vince, for example, Vince came back into the scene right away after having issues with health. Like, he didn't have to go through grind or anything like that. Because I can tell you now, Vince didn't, but it's because Vince had those connections. And everyone will probably quote, oh, Vince came back in. I'm like, yeah, but Vince had connections to, like, every tournament organizer before he even left. Like, he still gets gigs as a caster. Like, he can cast events from his home. He's all good for that. It's not about a connection. No, but Vince has connections with the TOs, like, already. So it's a lot easier for him to come back in a caster role. He proved that he can cast tier 1 tournaments. Yeah, of course, that's what I meant. Like, he's proven that, and he's got the connections too. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm referring to when I say that. That he's got the connections and he's got the experience that he can cast tier 1 tournaments. I'm not talking about, he gets it because of nepotism, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm saying because he's got the proof that he's casted tier 1 tournaments previously before he had health issues. And someone was using him as an example. Like, you're probably using Vince as a really poor example, given that Vince had casted tier 1 tournaments before his health came into way. And it's going to be pretty hard because Scrawny and Louders used to be casting MDL a ton before they got the gigs at the DreamHack Open. So Potter and Maniac, I'm not sure why these guys never want to get on the Renegades wagon, okay? Considering Renegades came second place, okay? So basically what happened was that, well, Virtus Pro played obscenely poorly, just an FYI. Like, Virtus Pro played very poorly at the event. And I felt Group A was going to be the highly contested group, but Group A was just well, it wasn't very competitive, okay? I'm going to put it that way, okay? It wasn't very competitive. As basically it was just Big and Renegades were the only good teams there. Cloud9, Cloud9 only won purely because Virtus Pro was so bad. Like, Virtus Pro just... Jame, but I think the big fact was Jame just never got into the game, never got into the server. Adren, played well. Like, Adren saved a couple of rounds for Virtus Pro. But with Jame being always out-AWPed by the various of AWPers, it really just killed them, basically. I don't know how it is now, but earlier they would fly you out and pay for the tickets, hotel, and food and stuff. But yeah, I don't think they will anymore. And it's going to be hard, being from Australia. Like, you only get Australia events like IM Melbourne and stuff like that. So as a caster, you got to do like half the effort to come in or whatever. The only Australian I've seen is Chad, which is Sponge. Yeah, of course. Do you mean Chad? Chad is Sponge. Come on, crazy. Chad is Sponge. I think the only other Australian they've flown out as well is Conky, but Conky is for a Zowie Extreme Land tournament. He organised the entire event. So that's the only thing as well. I don't think they'll fly out any other Australian casters. Like, they're not, they're not in a position where they're actually needed, okay? You mean Chad / Sponge. Okay, got it. So I say overall that the most competitive division was actually Group B with the 3 Danes in it. Poor Sprout, by the way. Sprout got really screwed over for the fact they had to take on North in the Heroic in the losers bracket and lose. I wrote someone because you might not remember that Chad is Sponge. True. And it came to the playoffs. Big. They didn't drop a single map. They beat Heroic 2-0. Renegades beat Mad Lions 2-1. And I cannot believe Renegades became the second best team in Nuke. Okay. They might hit you up if they have an Australian tournament. They probably won't. What they'll do, they'll hit up the Elvish guy, Mac, Conky, and another caster, and Maniac Monday. That's who they'll hit up. That's who they'll go for. They'll go for those 4 casters. Like, I'm not kidding. They'll go for those 4 casters right away. Because they've had previous ESL ties, and they did ESL, AU, and NZ. This is why I've actually stated in that Twitter thread for Tier 1 casters. That's going to be very, very hard to break in the industry, considering you got Vince coming back, Monte Cristo, who's from League and Overwatch, entering the scene. You got Semler entering back in. There's a lot of Tier 2 and Tier 3 gigs that you can get into, but they're crowded with casting organizations like Vortex, Esports Live, and various other media industries, Capping TV as well. That, that's what I'm talking about with casting. The future of casting is going to be people going to have to join casting orgs to even get a foot in the door at casting events. Like, for example, for me to even cast Epicenter, I had to group up with Capping TV as a once-off. It wasn't, I can get in easily. I couldn't talk to Epicenter because Epicenter were like, oh, you're just one caster and we want a group of casters, go away. And I don't think that will happen next time, actually, considering that we didn't get many views on our Australian broadcast. But we'll see what will happen. So Big beat, Renegades on Mirage and Dust 2, 16-5, 16-12. It sucked. I want to throw in a word now. You get a Virtus Pro official caster streamer if you want to, but I don't think I'll become that because I'm not Russian. But we'll see. You can test it out, man. I don't mind if you want to test it out or not. You can ask him. Next up, we're going to talk about a preview, which will be the Blast Pro series. So Scrawny and Lounders are back from DreamHack. James Banks is going to be there. He's actually really good, I'm going to say. I basically listened to James Banks on the plane in Emirates. There was debrief, whatever it is. Yeah, I saw that, crazy. I saw that. Just throw in a word, man. Just throw in a word. That's what I said. Your friend's relatives own VP. That's what I said. Just throw me in a word. I did read that. Don't worry about it, dude. So I was going to say, James Banks, I watched D_brief. That show is actually really, really good to explain analysis to people who don't understand analysis and what analysis say. So that was actually a really, really good thing to watch. So you see here, similar to Dex Coast, it could be, caster easily. You got Sponge and Foreign as the analysts. I'm actually surprised that Sapphire isn't here. And the commentators is Anders and Moses, typical, like Tier 1, and you got Scrawny and Lounders. Pretty surprised that, Monte Cristo and stuff aren't here yet, but they probably, asked for too much. The Russian broadcast, wow, Hooch is actually casting, I did not know this. Seized? Jeez. These ex-players just slide right in, don't they? I can't believe they paid 1.5 million for that lineup. Yeah, I'd say the people who get the most money would be James. Like James Banks would get a lot of money. Samla would probably get some decent money as well. Sponge and Foreign would get decent money. And yeah. Finished dead last in a tier 19 tournament. You mean tier 2 tournament. But yeah, look at that. Oh, you mean Virtus Pro? Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I thought that was a poor buy as well for Virtus Pro. They could have picked up Spirit. Like, they could have picked up Spirit and would have had a better lineup, in my opinion. Like, Team Spirit, because that's a Russian org as well. Because Team Spirit has, what is it? Meh from Gambit, has, Disbalance. Like, that's a good team. 100% bought it because of the major? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, exactly. It's because of the major spot. Because Spirit don't have a major spot. I think Spirit have an EU closed minor spot, but yeah. So let's see down here. Go to the group stage format. What I think will happen, we've got the teams here. You've got 100 Fees, Astralis, Complexity. We've got the groups down here as well. I think Liquid and FaZe will make it out of these groups. They got the easiest bracket in the history of the majors. Yeah, I think 100 Fees is the only team that was decent that Vanguard versed, or Virtus Pro versed. And Renegades really blew that chance. Like, 100 Fees really should have beaten that finals. And Ents beat Liquid as well, yeah. Yep. Because Ents beat Liquid, then lost to Renegades, and then Renegades at the Virtus Pro, I believe. Oh no, it was Ents versus Thingo. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. So I reckon Liquid will go through here. I don't see NYBR getting even close, like, to be completely honest. FaZe should get through easily through NiP. The new look NiP, I'd say North being off is pretty good, but I think FaZe will make it through based on firepower alone. No, we're Ents. Oh, you mean Katowice major? Where Ents made it to the finals? Oh, yeah, that's right. We have an actual hard bracket. Yeah, Ents had a fucked bracket, that's right. So I reckon FaZe and Liquid will make it through here. For Group B, I reckon it'll be Vitality. Ooh, it's gonna be a tough one. And then face Navi, yeah. So this is going to be tough on Vitality and Navi. Astralis will win this one pretty easily. Like, Complexity aren't a strong team. But it'll be between either Navi or Vitality who will win the next one. Like, Complexity should be going straight to the showdown. Like, I don't think Complexity will get very, very far at all. Simple's back warping. This will be a close match, okay? Because it's going to be Zyro v Simple. So it's going to be an interesting match to watch. And it'll be Astralis will take care of the winner of this. And I reckon Navi will make it out. Given that they picked up Perfecto from... Fuck, I forget which team he was on, which Russian team he was on. There's so many fucking Russian riflers. I think Perfecto from... Oh, man. Trying to think who Perfecto was from. Simon, that's right. Simon Gaming. With this 100 Thieves will be G2. Easy. So easy for 100 Thieves. This match is pretty much who's going to lose to the winner of these two. Like, I'm going to say this out loud. Actually, it's Evil Geniuses. Depends if Seb fires off. If Stanislaw, Ethan, and Breezy don't fire off, EG is going to find themselves here and lose to the team that wins here. Okay? So let's say 100 Thieves wins. EG comes in here because OG won't beat EG. And if EG's 3 rifles don't fire off, it'll be 100 Thieves going through. Perfecto, they'll get smacked. Yeah, I do agree with that as well. So that's pretty much it. Next up is the Rio Major. So I do have minor rights for NA and CIS. So I'll be casting those. Do Simple and Electronic always show up? But I'll be casting the NA minors tomorrow. I don't know what games I'll be casting. I'll just be casting the games I get given, guys. So if you guys can come in, give me some support while casting these games, it'd be great. It starts at 7 AM my time, and it'll probably end at 1 PM or 12 PM my time, depending on how long they go for. 2 seconds. Gotta check something. Be right back. 2 seconds? Yeah, all good. So I can go. Can't I host a major? I don't want to catch any diseases in EU. Or Rio. Oh, you don't want to get robbed there either. The biggest issue is being robbed. The biggest issue there is being robbed, apparently. Apparently it's a really big area for robbings. Like, I think Richard Lewis talked about it as well. Before, like, it was even announced. Like, Brazil have huge, huge crime problems. But anyways, that's pretty much all the CSGO for today. There'll be upcoming wrong webcam. Whoops. Interesting webcam. Forward not go to Brazil because he got actual death threats. Yeah, he did. Like, you know, because Forward talks a lot of, you know, hard talk and the Brazilians can't really take it. Like, I'm gonna be like brutally honest. Like, what Foreign said about the Brazilian teams was 100% on point. Just no one wanted to say it because they had ghoulies and all that stuff come on and like like pitchforks and stuff like that. Like, he said that to the Brazilian fans, and he's completely right. He's completely justified in saying that. And then Ghoulies, basically, he basically goes, Foreign's a bad person, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, oh, he's telling you the truth. Like, he's telling you that your teams aren't as great as they are. Because they're not. Like, MRBR and Fury are in slumps at the moment. They're in, like, the phase that they're just looking for some kind of form. They're not playing well. Simply put, MRBR and Fury are not playing well. They're going into ESL Pro League with no Brazilian team that's even a slight favourite. And that's the biggest issue that they've got. They go, oh my god, Sharks got into ESL Pro League, okay? Like, the Brazilians were saying that, like, oh, why are Sharks in there? And I'm going, like, because Sharks are probably a better team than Fury are at the moment. And they might be a better team than MRBR at the moment. Because, like, Fury obviously have been exposed, and they don't watch demos, and they didn't put in the hard work compared to the other guys when they saw them as the flash in the pan. They studied the demos and see what they did, and they counted it. And then Fury started changing their roster. Instead of actually adapting to the playstyle that they've been given, they changed the roster, which is a suicidal move. It's like what Ents did, basically. But it's battle for the TOs. We'll talk about that, actually. The battle between the TOs. This is just a joke, okay? Like, this is a shit fighting that's actually killing the Australian scene as well. Where, like, TOs are literally just trying to shit each other to make each other look bad. To try to see the other, TOs better. Like, oh, we would never do what, ESL does. Or we'll never do what FACEIT does and stuff like that. This is a bit, silly. With ESL, okay, we'll talk about the ESL stuff as well. I completely forgot about that. ESL Pro League halved their teams, and they didn't communicate to the teams that were being kicked out that they were being kicked out. And a lot of teams have dropped a lot of orgs have dropped their teams. They dropped it from 48 to 24. So there's a few teams that were kicked out altogether, which was some of the South American teams. That they all went back to MDL, but the South American teams didn't go to an MDL because there's no MDL in South America. And they didn't put them into the NA MDL for obvious reasons with ping. And that screwed a lot of South American teams. And they kicked teams for the 24 as well. Yes, Cloud9 and MRBR weren't in the ESL Pro League. And that's because they accepted an invite to the FACEIT League, the B-Site League as they call it. With ESL Pro League, I think, they picked the teams they wanted. Yeah, that's exactly. But, they're allowed to do that. Like, this is the thing. Like, a lot of CISPA, the Players Association, got a lot of flack for this. But they can't tell how ESL runs their business. Because they don't own it. They're not taking the risk. They can only tell them what they want, basically. B-Site isn't owned by FACEIT. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not owned by FACEIT. It's produced by FACEIT. That's right. Yeah. So it's kind of like, they use FACEIT servers, basically. And I'm going to talk about ESL. I think, I understand, like, ESL Pro League were losing money. Because if you guys don't know, ESL Pro League do pay the players. They do pay the players for the orgs. So it's a big thing to get into ESL Pro League. That's why a lot of players were really pissed off when they found out they were kicked from ESL Pro League. Like, they were pretty unhappy, and I can understand because there's potential a lot of money lost. There's a few teams in relegation, such as Spirit, Hafu, and Sprout, that lost spots as well as Triumph. Ints got the spot in the end. Int and Force both got their spots. I'm trying to figure who second place was. Right Squad as well. Right Squad also lost their spot. And Swole Patrol lost their spot when they're in NA. And Singularity also lost their spot as well. And that resulted in Singularity dropping their team, probably. Highly likely they dropped their team on the basis of the fact that they're not getting paid by ESL Pro League anymore. And if you guys don't know, ESL Pro League were losing money by supporting 48 teams of players, by paying their wages by playing in ESL Pro League. So I can understand why they halved it. Like, I can understand 100%. They need to pay the players. And that I assume that CISPA understood that. They were given probably, financials in good confidence, no NDAs on it. And I don't get the criticism of CISPA, because CISPA can't break NDAs. Otherwise, ESL could be like, well, we're not communicating with it anymore. You guys clearly can't keep a fucking secret, so we can't negotiate in good faith, considering you just leak it to the press. So, that's what they don't want, and that's what ESL can simply do. They can simply not negotiate with the players' union anymore. And, they can, invite whoever they want, basically, to the orgs. And that's not a thing that we want. We want communication, we want cooperation and stuff like that. And there was this one guy who's from fucking H1Z1 who has no clue what he's talking about, was going up to Sir Scoots saying that, this is a travesty, they should have never done that and stuff like that. CSGO are bad, CSGO just negotiating for themselves rather than the entire player base. And Scoots is like, I answered you 5 times that first, CSGO can't tell ESL what to do. Yes, even like Scoot said, yes, that's ESL's responsibility to tell the teams that they're getting kicked out in the first place. It's not CSGO's responsibility. Yeah, if they won't cooperate and everyone's going to go to B side, there's a bit of a mutual agreement between ESL and CSGO that they have to work with each other. Like, ESL's aware of that, they don't, that sort of setup. And he was blaming, he tagged all the players in CSGO. And I'm sitting there going, it's not their fault. They were told that ESL was losing money. And ESL had to cut the teams. And that's what ESL did. And what are they meant to do? Tell ESL, keep 48 teams. Yeah, you're telling a business to keep losing money. Yeah, good luck. That business will be, drop the tournament. See you guys later. You guys don't have a tournament to play in. You might lose ESEA, MDL as well. You lose your big league, your biggest proponent of CSGO, which is ESEA and the ESL Pro Tour. You lose that. Yeah, that's a fucking smart decision. So, they thought inside of the players that, everyone can have a path to EPL just by putting the teams in half. In the short term, it's going to suck. I'll tell you now which teams it sucks for. It sucks for Soul Patrol, okay? They kept the ESL spot, and they were kicked, okay? There's a lot of teams that were kicked out. I feel sorry for them. I felt sorry for Hafu. I can't believe Ents got invited over Hafu. I think they got invited purely because Ents is a bigger org. Because I feel Hafu on paper are a better finish team than Ents. Because Ents, first of all, Ents didn't enter Advanced. They didn't come back to MDL, but they get an auto-invite to ESL Pro League. I felt that was a bit of a slap in the face to Hafu overall, given that Hafu stayed in MDL, they had a big lower bracket run, to win, and I'm going to say this now, Hafu are a much better team than Ents. That's what I'm going to say, Hafu are a much better team than Ents. I don't feel like Ents are going to, get automatically kicked out of ESL Pro League, pretty much. They're going to get relegated. That's my honest opinion on that, because they're not good enough. It's like OG as well. It's that's the only big quiff I have, is that there's teams in there. Half haven't played against any tier 1 teams. They have. They played against Forza. And half have played against some 1.5 and tier 1 teams as well. But this is the big opportunity to play against these tier 1 teams. They're going to be in the ESL Pro League. And I think Hafu would have, came at least 3rd or 2nd. Which is really disappointing. They should have been in there. They play 2 or 3 tier 1 tournaments, 1 being a major. I don't think Hafu are going to make it to the major. Dude, the EU minors going to be stacked as hell. But we'll see if Hafu make it through. But I'm very sure, if Hafu had a position that Ants were in, they would make it in. What else did I didn't get? Well, who are the ESL Pro League teams, actually? Let me just get those up. Oh, that's right as well. Big not making it in. I was actually a bit surprised about that one. About Big not making it in. I was sitting there Hellraiser got kicked, to be honest though. Hellraisers aren't a big org, and Hellraiser got in by the skin of their teeth. And I saw Ange was very, very angry on Twitter about it. I can understand. I can 100% understand. And I think they're going to lose their spot as well. They're going to lose their org. This is what's going to happen. Is a lot of the tier 2 organizations that go into the ESL Pro League, they're going to start dropping their teams because their teams aren't making enough money. They're surviving due to ESL money. So what we got for ESL Pro League here? So the teams we got is Mouse Sports, Fnatic, Na'Vi, Astralis, Team Liquid, EG, 100 Thieves, FaZe, G2, Tyloo, Sharks, North, Heroic, Renegades, Complexity, Ents, Furia, Godsent, Nip, OG, VP, Vitality, Force, and Ints. What I'm gonna say is I know Virtus Pro got in because their org's big, but I don't think Virtus Pro are gonna be stuck in relegation. I'm gonna put that in. They're gonna be in relegation pretty quickly. Because I'm gonna say I have no idea what Semla and Fallen had. I would say Virtus Pro OG, Ents, Complexity. Godsend are actually very good, so I won't say they're going to go down there. Tyler, and potentially North, they're going to fall into relegation, I reckon. They're going to be, like, eventually, like, over time, taken out. And I reckon Big will probably take one of those spots, because Big's team at the moment, after DreamHack Open, they're a pretty decent team. I reckon Big have a chance of becoming, like, tier 1.5 or tier 1, given they're showing at DreamHack Open. Like, they're very, very dominant. Like, they weren't, just winning games. They were absolutely blasting away their competition, including North as well. So, yeah. Semler said MIBR were lazy. Maybe they are. We don't know. Maybe we are. But, I feel like, I understand why ESL made a decision. Like, I understand it perfectly. I don't mind ESL's decision. They're allowed to do whatever they want. I feel like some teams should have been in there and some teams shouldn't have. That's all I'm saying. Like, ESL allowed to do what they want. And I do agree with what ESL did. The communication was missed. They missed the communication. They didn't contact the teams. That was bad. That's bad on their part. Everything else, though, was really, really good. They apologized. They came out and apologized right away. And they're all good for it. What I don't like is the forend back and forth between ESL, trying to vilify ESL and all that stuff. Because that shit doesn't grow the sport at all. Like, you got Blast Pro Series in the middle of it being like, okay, like, cool, twiddle my thumbs. We're trying to grow the CSGO scene. And all you guys care about is, like, shit-talking the other leagues and trying to vilify the leagues to being, like, some snake oil salesman. Instead of, like, honest guys making a mistake. And you can't, like, vilify, like, leagues and stuff like that. Because then you get these polarization of leagues and, like, people stick with ESL or Face It or whatever. And, you really want to change it to, like, an open style maybe in the future. No exclusivity and anything like that. Because exclusivity is mainly, like, this is going to be the biggest problem for B-Site. Is that how you're going to compete with an open circuit system like ESEA, who have amateur to pro leagues. Like, you can get to the pro league, their prestigious league through, being a good player instead of having a 25 million buy-in. Like, how are you going to compete with that? Like, honestly. And that's what Faceit really needs to do. That's what I feel that Faceit might have to go in the way of, is make their own league. And I guess some of the TOs got to really work together, because, like, you don't want to kill the goose that lays the golden egg. And what Foreign's doing at the moment, I feel it's really detrimental to the scene overall. And he just doesn't see it. He's just, like, so invested to his B-Site project that he wants to shit talk to competition so people join his league. That's what I'm saying, simply put. And I think it's going to hurt the CSGO scene overall. And, Foreign can have his opinion. Foreign can be like, this Jose idiot's a fucking twat, blah, 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 whatever. But it's hurting the scene. He does, Foreign's done some great things. But I think this one's hurting the scene a lot by, like, literally shitting on ESL Pro League. Like, he was right to call him out and not contacting teams. But to constantly shitting on ESL for what they did, they said sorry. Like, you got to accept the apology and move on, buddy. Oh, yeah, basically, yeah. It's not okay with that. That's what I'm saying. It's not okay that they found out through decay that they were kicked out. I'm saying they're crapping on about it, non-stop is just basically a broken record. Like, he's going to vilify ESL more and more. And it'll probably eventually hurt the scene overall. And that's what I don't like about it. That part. And, like, Envy's new roster, dude. Talk about Envy. Let's talk about Envy, okay? I read Fugly's tweet longer out. We actually discussed this on stream. Envy's not going to make it anywhere. I'm very sure Envy's going to de-org that team. I have no idea why Envy love Nifty so much. Mihu's very good. Mihu's probably the best pickup for that team. Like, Mihu's a great player. Moose is pretty good. Calyx have not seen that much, but Moose and Mihu are definitely good pickups for Envy. But I don't know what Envy have with Nifty. I have no idea what obsession and build around they have with Nifty. Nifty isn't like this star AWPer that will carry you to championships. I have no idea with, with the obsession of Nifty. Like, I have no idea. Like, it's like, he's not simple or, he's not simple or fucking Zywoo. Like, you can get any AWP when you have a decent AWPer. I just feel like this entire obsession of Nifty and, like, kicking out, like, Fugly, Andrew and stuff like that. It's not how you make a team. Nifty's a good AWPer. Yeah, I know Nifty's a good AWPer. That's what I meant. I know Nifty's a good AWPer. But you could probably get, like, at least 10 to 12 AWPers that are also decent and replace Nifty. They had JDM, Nifty, and 2 other AWPers. No. Fugly's not AWPer. Fugly's support. Fugly's a role player. And Android's rifler. There's no other AWPers. The AWPers for Complexity was Ricky. Oh, no, it wasn't Ricky. It was Shazam. And Shazam wasn't a part of Envy. Oh, at the start. Okay, yeah. You're talking about before Android, Ryan, and all that. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Got it. It's before them, yeah. But I just don't get the obsession around Nifty. Like, he's a good AWPer, but he can't build a team around him. Get Wardell on a team, yeah, exactly. If Envy want a fucking really good AWPer, get fucking Wardell. Get Wardell, build a team around him, okay? He's literally a fucking superstar AWPer. He doesn't have a team. I have no idea how Wardell doesn't have a team. Wardell's not trash. Wardell, fucking god tier AWPer. Wardell's like one of the god tier AWPers, okay? Like, he'll get your opening picks. He'll get your opening picks for you. Put him on the professional team. He was unstoppable for Ghost Gaming. Most of Ghost Gaming's games when Wardell played for them was on the back of Wardell getting those opening picks. Are you being for real crazy? Did you not see Wardell play for Ghost Gaming? Like, you gotta watch those demos, man. He's fucking making these things happen, Wardell. He's making these things happen. He's a very aggressive AWPer. Maybe if you put him in a passive situation, he wouldn't be so good. Like, he maybe like a Jane, where he's like a one-trick pony. Might shine in an NA scene. Yeah, that's what we're talking about it. In E, he'll get fucked. We'll see. But Wardell's definitely an AWP you can build a team around. I don't understand why they build around Nifty. That's my position. Like, you know, Nifty is a great AWP. I'm gonna say that now, but I don't think he's good enough to build a team around and to kick players to keep Nifty. Like, I'm gonna say this down. I think that Team Envy, as it was probably a dead team, given there was no trust in Nifty RGLing, and also there was a toxicity of rift between Nifty and everyone else. And they really needed to talk about RGLing within Envy. That was the big issue, that they didn't talk about it. They didn't tell Nifty that they didn't think he was doing a good job at RGLing. They could have got Android to IGL or Ryan to IGL. Because both of those players are, you know, experienced players. Android's an experienced player as well. The runs playing plugs, I'm not talking about tens and stuff like that. But what I'm talking about is I'm talking about, you know, players overall. And I think, you know, they could have like talked about it, give Android or Ryan IGL duties and have Nifty just back on his AWP. Tens is way better than Wardell? No, not really. Like, he played in Cloud9 and he wasn't very good at all. Like, he wasn't very good at all. He was not listening to strategies and stuff like that. And that's a big issue that they had. That he wasn't listening to strategies. And that was a big issue with Tens. Like, this is what Daps said. I think it was Daps in Cloud9. He said that just Tens just didn't follow the system or didn't believe in it. And it was a big issue. Like, it was a big issue for Tens, to be honest. But, you know, Cloud9, Woodell was playing MDL and Ghost. No, he was playing EPL and Ghost. He was playing Pro League and Ghost as well. Ghost made EPL. Tens needs experience, yeah. Tens definitely needs experience, 100%. But when he was playing with Cloud9, it just didn't seem like that Tens was really following the Cloud9 structure or the IGL of Daps. So, you know, that was the biggest issue with Tens. And, you know, I'm not saying Tens is a shit player. Tens is a very good, decent rifler. It's just Tens definitely needs to, like, be a team player, I guess. Follow what the IGL says. Like, you know, just work into the IGL system, trying to adopt himself in that. And then he'll become good. Like, he'll become a very, very good player. That's all I'm going to say, because that's what I got told. And Broline's very, very good as well. But anyway, let's finish talking about that. So let's talk about the B-Site League, okay? B-Site League coming up as well. So B-Site League, they've got 6 teams so far. They've got Mad Lions, Cloud9, MIBR, and a few others that haven't been announced yet. And it's going to be like a league, exclusivity league. You have the buy-in clause. And basically the teams have to stay in the top 20 or something like that. Otherwise they don't, you know, otherwise they, is this the B-Site League teams? Oh, you're playing with Flom. Oh, nice. I wanted to know who was in the B-Site League. 2 seconds. Sorry, I wasn't talking about your team. So the B-Site League at the moment, the announced teams is Cloud9, MIBR, Gen G, Contact, which is the Go Crazy team, Dignitas and Mad Lions. At the moment, on the face of it, it's on the face of it, the only real big teams in there is MIBR and Cloud9. Dignitas is basically ex Nip with Hulzerk. Crazy's kind of a tier 2 team. And I think this league's pretty decent with the teams in there, but it won't be as competitive as ESL Pro League. That's pretty much my opinion on that. And I don't like I don't like Foreign like trying to bring down the other competition instead of bringing his own competition up. And I think he's under the pressure of getting some good teams in here as well. And what he can do, what I think they might need to do is try and build up their league to compete with ESL Pro League by proving that they run a really good tournament as well. It's only the first year, exactly. They should probably approach teams that were screwed over by ESL. And maybe the buy-in system might not be the best system for it. You never know, but I'm not sure. But the teams are definitely good. Mad Lions, they're definitely a tier 1.5 team. They're getting close up there. MIBR and Cloud9, they could become good. We're waiting for Gen G, Crazy, and Dignitas to see what they can do. Basically, with Dignitas, they're building, I think it's 3 rifles and a support around Hulzerk, the young legendary AWPer for Nordavind, join the team. But that's pretty much it. Like I say now, that's pretty much it for today for CSGO. For my closing remarks, the ESL stuff was pretty badly managed, pretty badly managed, and ESL, do better next time. They apologize for it. They're getting a lot of kicks in the knee, as they call it, and they're just working to improve. And that's what you need to expect from the orgs, just to work to improve, basically. Gen G I'm not that hyped about, given that they haven't really pulled anything that's any decent yet. They haven't put any statement games out yet. That's why I'm not rating them highly. I'm just waiting and seeing to see if they get some statement games in the tables, because they didn't qualify for Anaheim, they didn't qualify for Leipzig, so that's why I'm the hype is a bit low for them at the moment, because I haven't seen them do anything. So yeah, with B-side, I don't like how Foreign's going about it. I don't think the way to promote your league is by bringing other leagues down. I think it's a very negative way of promoting your league, and I don't think it'll work in the future. I think if he keeps doing it on, trying to bring down Blast and ESL non-stop, I think it'll get worse for B-side overall, because B-side will be one of these leagues that, just the TO just abuses the other leagues and stuff like that, and teams probably won't like that. But anyways, pretty much. Also, that's what we're going to talk about, Simple's interview. You guys should check out Simple's interview as well. Simple was really, really critical of some casters who literally the analysis is just blaming players and getting their players at the end, the players involved, and hating on them. It's pretty bad, actually. And Kit Kuster, jeez. Dude, I remember when Steel had Kuster in his team and Kuster actually performed. I was actually kind of shocked about that. But Kuster, you'll see. We'll see. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for CSGO today. Next up, we're going to be over the politics and stuff like that, so stay tuned. And if you enjoy the video, subscribe below. All my socials are below as well. So see you guys next time for CSGO with Jose on Chilltime.